Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen. This tiny bit of fur you can see is Samuel, and today we are going to be watching Lost Season 2, Episode 2. I am so excited. I think Season 2 started off so strong. I love the opening where you think it's another flashback, but actually it's current time and you're in the bunker with Desmond, who you don't know is Desmond yet. But I just think that was such a cool way to open the season, and I have been waiting for the bunker for so long, so I loved it. Also very curious about Desmond and like what he's doing and like who he is going to be on this show. I know that a few people so far have told me that he is their favorite character, so very excited to see why that is, and like if it's because he's like such a good bad guy or if it's because he's such a good guy, you know, like it could go either way. So I'm excited. Also curious, like the more that I watch, the less that I think that it's a coincidence that the people who were on this plane were on this plane. Maybe that's just the conspiracy theorist in me talking, but this show has me questioning like everything. It's like an X-Files trust no one sort of situation. I'm like, what is the mystery here? Like, what's happening? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I am very excited. We left off with Locke and Kate and Jack in the bunker with Desmond, and there was a standoff. And I'm just curious as to where that's going to go. So I'm not going to ramble anymore. Let's get right into it and find out. See, I think Sawyer's a good guy. Sorry, he was pressing so hard, it was like...
Listen, if you sign this document legally, he'll be no different than any other kid you pass in the street. You'll be giving up your paternal rights. All of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so then, can I stop her from going?
Well, can you just not give up your parental rights? I mean, that works too, right?
This is David and Goliath, so I gotta ask you sure you want to do this?
He wants his son.
They're not taking my son away.
Walt!
So he did fight. That's interesting. Last season, they kind of made it seem like he didn't really fight it.
Right now, all I got is that maybe my son can hear me. Does that make any sense to you?
Sure, but you're also... I get it, but it's also like a bit of a... Y'all need to try to use that energy to get back to the island, because presumably those people came from the island. So going back would be your best bet to finding him, no? It's just the logic that my head thinks, you know. Dharma. What is that? I'm assuming Nat and Greg. I think there was like a little snake on it. Yeah, it was just a light. But the way that they had it in the last episode made it look like sunlight. Tricky bastards. There's Kate. Oh no, she was left there to lure you.
Easy.
Yep. Obvious trap situation.
Are you him?
He's been there a long time. Who?
Are you him?
Who is him?
Feeling guilty.
What? You made me fire that flare.
No,
I made you fire.
y'all couldn't have known that it was bad guys.
This is my fault?
They took my son.
It's not.
They found us, took Walt, because you made me fire the
Okay,
flare.
At least Walt is on a boat, probably wrapped in a blanket with a cup of cocoa while we're on this piece.
Get off my raft.
It's his raft. He found it. Fucking shut up. He found it and saved your ass and put you on it. Just saying. Maybe it's Jen. Oh, I think it's a shark, actually. I saw something swimming underneath them.
bullets are dry, the powder's dry. The powder's dry.
Oh. Well, I would not be sticking my arm down there, Sawyer. There is a fucking...
What the hell is that?
something.
It's a shark.
Yeah.
It's only a shark.
Only?
It's only a shark. That's supposed to make me feel better?
No.
Well, I guess I know why the shark is hanging around. Your shoulder.
Oh, well, I'll just stop bleeding then.
I would doubt that, to be fair.
Suddenly forget what happened. Why I got shot. What? I mean, how about a little gratitude here? I mean, thank you.
Thank you? For what? You trying to save your own ass?
It does bother me how everybody always
You want me off this
sees the
raft?
worst in Sawyer when, like...
You got it.
Honestly, I would be like, get off the fucking raft yourself, because, like, it's mine. I would not be putting my little legs out, like my whole ass body, but, you know.
Spent weeks in a private hospital room, extensive rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
Who paid for all of that, Mr. Dawson?
Maybe that's why he didn't go after his son. Ma'am?
Do you know what Walt's first words were, Mr. Dawson?
I'm sorry, what?
His first words.
I wasn't there.
Do you know what his favorite food is?
I think that he should be given the chance to find out. Why are you painting him as shitty because of something she did?
For someone who wants to retain his paternal rights so badly, don't seem to know much about your son, Mr. Dawson.
Yeah, because he hasn't been given a chance.
I'm his father.
I'm sorry, could you say that louder, please, just for the record?
I'm his father.
I really don't like his ex.
You're gonna take a bullet out with your bare hands.
You got a better idea.
Right? We should tie it to stop the bleeding for now until you can get back to the island. And then Jack can probably take it out with something other than bare hands. No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm not good with this stuff. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to see somebody's fingers in their fucking arm. Thank you. Okay. Good job. That's just begging for an infection. Because you got some fingernail in it. You know? Like, your fingers aren't that clean.
Got a Band-Aid.
Just rip your sleeve off and tie it.
Are you? Are you him?
Who is him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Locke would just go along with it, honestly.
Yes, I am.
He's gonna be like,
I can't believe it. You're finally here.
who is it?
Well, here I am.
It's not gonna work.
Who's she?
She's my associate.
She's with me.
So he was trapped here.
What did one snowman say to the other snowman?
What did one snowman say to the other snowman?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's getting kind of chilly.
Get rid of the knife. You're not him.
Yeah, there was a code.
We didn't come here to hurt you.
Yeah? Then why did you come?
We were in a plane crash.
Yeah, they didn't really choose
Where you now?
to come here.
And when was that?
Like 2 months ago.
44 days ago.
24 days.
44? Is that what he said? He's wearing the Dharma jumpsuit too. So whatever Dharma is, yeah, I saw that. He's a part of it. He's been trapped here. Quarantined.
Time up. Do it!
I thought he said
Wait,
time
wait,
out.
wait. You're tying up the wrong person.
How's that, brother?
It's pointless to tie me up. I'm not dangerous. But her, she's a fugitive.
This is good though because he actually is more dangerous. So it's better for him to not be tied up.
So what does that mean you then, brother?
Brother. I just like the way he says brother.
Wait! Hey!
Shut it.
I think it's just a closet.
Reckon Jack's gonna do something heroic. What?
You always try to be funny when you don't want to answer a question.
Tried to be funny.
She's figuring him out.
What's this?
Oh, is she finding it?
Oh. Found it in the jungle.
You found it?
He hasn't opened it yet.
Be careful. Oh, be careful with it. Hey, she's holy.
Didn't realize you were so religious.
He was Catholic
I'm not.
at some point.
It's just, you know, it might come in handy. Be a nice thing to have around.
How could it come in handy? You know, if it was just a statue.
You know anything about boats, Mike?
That one wouldn't have gone far.
A boat like that wasn't built for the open ocean. Water's coming over the side, first little squall.
Exactly.
Maybe got a range of 100 miles.
Exactly.
Nope. A boat like that had to left port from somewhere close. Like the island.
Yes! Sawyer,
French chick
being
said
smart.
the others were coming for the kid.
He is being smart.
I think they came, Mike.
Yes!
He's the one they wanted.
Yes!
Why I got a bullet in my shoulder.
Sawyer is
Hell,
fucking...
Bluebeard blew us up because they wanted your kid.
Yeah.
You saying this is my fault?
Well,
That's what I'm
that's...
They
It's
took my
not
son
his...
because of you. Rick, they were sailing away.
saying. They found us because they were looking for us.
Yeah.
For what?
Don't you ever say his name again, ever.
Now what you gonna do? Splash me?
Uh-oh. Why are they doing the underwater shot? Yeah, get back on the raft. Good job, Sawyer.
You have no idea what it's like to care for somebody else.
That's a stupid assumption. Why would you ever assume that somebody has lived probably 30-something years of their life without caring about somebody? Like, what?
You're still on disability, Michael. You can't work.
So because he's
You're about to be evicted from your...
disabled, he isn't worth anything to his son?
You have rare talent as an artist, Michael. But how are you going to do that, any of that, and still be a part of Walt's life?
What?
We'll do it by doing it.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? People do shit because they have to.
Then let him go.
That doesn't even make sense.
Because it's not about you or me. It's about him.
Yeah, and he deserves to know his father. Like, he's not asking to have full custody. He's asking to be involved in his son's life. You can still move without this. Where are you, though? Hot cocoa mix. Rations? Oh. Lots of rations. She eating some candy. Don't blame her, honestly. She's grabbing some. She's like, I want some of this candy.
Type in exactly what I tell you. Understand exactly, nothing else.
Okay.
4, 8,
16.
15.
No, 15. 16.
Did you hear that? What?
16.
What did you just put in? What number did you just put in?
15.
Right, 16. 23.
42.
42.
Interesting.
Now press execute.
Okay, so the numbers are the code.
What's gonna happen?
Just push it.
What is it, like self-implode if he doesn't type in the numbers in every however many hours?
His name is Jack. He's our doctor.
You're a doctor. As a gun brother.
Brother. Sorry. It's just fun to say it every time he says it.
Calm down.
Lower your gun, or I'll blow his damned head off, brother.
Sorry. I'll stop at some point. Jack's like, wait a minute, I fucking know you. Does he recognize Jack too?
You.
I want to see the end of that scene. Just keep trying.
Sawyer!
He better be okay, that's all I gotta say. That better have been shark blood, okay.
Hey, this is for you, man.
It's a polar bear!
Yes, sure, he's just really shy.
Coincidence? I think not.
It was my fault.
How?
What?
Because you let...
I never should have brought him on the raft.
Oh. I mean, they would have just taken him from the shore. If Sawyer is correct, which he is.
I'm gonna get him back.
Well, we have to try. Oh, the island.
I brought us back.
And where on the island are y'all? You have to be on the way other fucking side. I bet solid land would feel nice. Is it Jen? Oh no! He looks like his hands are tied. No, he's running from something. He's running from something. Run, 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 run! Y'all, he is running from something! He's running! Yeah, others. Can y'all not tell that he is running from something? Yeah, that's gonna be the end. That was creepy, the way they didn't show any of their faces. Okay, so that was another great episode. I love the mystery aspect of this show. I love, like, trying to figure everything out, and I'm sure inevitably being, like, so wrong about everything, but just, it's fun to try. So this episode had a lot of mystery, a little bit of frustration, but a lot of really fun mystery things. Let's start at the end with Michael and Sawyer getting back to the island and seeing Jen running towards them with his hands tied behind his back. I'm sorry. Why was your immediate thought not, what the fuck is he running from? Scoop him up and just keep running. Because, like, that would be me. I would be like, what? Like, clearly you're running from something. We should be running from something too, right? Like, no, just me. I don't know. Also, like, he clearly was like, his hands were behind his back. Like, I don't know. Anyway, very creepy, very ominous. The others, the way that they showed the others with the full shadow, so you can't see a single one of their faces. Very creepy, very much love. Also, speaking of the others, it's really interesting what Desmond said in this episode, because when he was talking to Locke, he asked, how many of the people with you are sick, right? And so my thing is, it reminds me of what Rousseau said, right? Because she said that when her people came to the island, they all got really sick and they started dying off one by one until I think, like, only her, like, she was left, really, right? And then the others came and took her baby. But she definitely mentioned that, like, people got really sick and... Oh, sorry, Lucky. Oh. Yeah, okay, so Rousseau said that everyone got sick and that she was... Like, she said something about being a carrier and then something about the others, that she had never seen them, but she had heard the whispers. But then she also said they came and took her baby, so she clearly had to have seen them at some point, right? Unless she, like, went to sleep and then woke up and her baby was gone and somehow she knew that they had taken the baby? Not really sure. Anyway, I just think it's really interesting that Desmond, whoever he is, mentioned, or asked Locke how many people were sick when Rousseau mentioned that sickness had taken the people of her ship. So there's definitely some sort of sickness, and the others are involved in it somehow. And I'm not sure to what extent or how or why, or maybe the island has some sort of sickness. That I don't really know, but I just think that, obviously there's some sort of correlation. Also, I think it's interesting they focused on the little Dharma thing that Locke saw when he first came in. Symbol that looks like it's from some company that says Dharma. And there's like a snake. And it's in like is it an octagon? An octagonal, I don't know if that's a word. It's like in an octagon. I don't know if this is important, but just because they focused on it, and then also the fact that Desmond is wearing a suit that says Dharma on it as well, I'm gonna say that that's important. Octagon Dharma. Also, the 108 on the wall, like the drawings, right? So like I think that this guy drew the drawings, Desmond, on the wall. It looks like maybe it's the others. And 108, I wonder if like 108 is the hours until he has to type in the numbers and then execute to prove that he's still alive and there, and like he hasn't died of a sickness. And then maybe if he doesn't put in the numbers, then it blows up or something happens, right? Because he was in quarantine. Yeah, I'm just curious. Obviously he's been there a long time. There was lots of tallies on the wall. I don't know if Dharma, whoever that is, whatever maybe company or private study or whatever, is involved with the others or not. It seems like Desmond is waiting for somebody to come because he asked, "Are you him?" Right? That's what he said. He said, "Are you him?" And then he said, "What did one snowman say to the other snowman?" Which I'm assuming is like the answer is some sort of code that lets Desmond, like him asking that lets the person, I don't know, maybe not that, but him, whatever the answer is, lets Desmond know that whoever shows up is the person that is supposed to show up, right? Whoever he's waiting for. So that's interesting. We also learned that it has been 44 days. I thought like maybe 2 months, but like a month and a half. So like roughly around what I thought. Excuse me. Since they crashed. So they've been there for a hot second. But yeah, I think it's really interesting. I'm curious what Dharma is. Like what answers Desmond can give us, if he's willing to give us any. Like, are Sawyer and Jen and Michael now captives of the others as well? In which case, will we get to see the others' base camp? Or at least, I don't know if like the others are all together or if they have like factions, like, and there's multiple different camps, and then maybe there's one big base camp, or there's just one big camp and that's it. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out through Michael and Walt and Sawyer and Jen's possible imprisonment. Yeah, so I'm really curious to see that, and if the others are related to this Dharma thing, whatever it is. And yeah, like, I'm assuming at some point we'll see Rousseau again. And I'm just curious as to how all of these pieces are gonna fit together, and like how it is that Desmond is here and Jack is here, because there is just, I just feel like there's no way that could be a coincidence, Like it feels like the world is not that small. that they would both end up here at this time, having met each other. When Desmond said, "I'll see you in another life." Brother. Sorry, I just really love the way he says that. It's fun. Anyway, so also it's interesting that Desmond said the world's still out there. So whoever quarantined him here, or whatever quarantined him here, however long ago it was, which hopefully we'll find out at some point, he thought that like the world outside might not exist anymore, which is interesting. I wonder how much like food he had, like all that food in that bunk and like in that closet thing, would that have been enough for like the rest of his life if he had to stay down here? Presumably it would go bad at some point, no? Like I don't know how long preserved food stays good, but 20, 30, 40 years seems like too long for any food to still be good, right? I don't know. I cannot remember if... I know that I tried to figure out at some point how many survivors there were, and I got 44 with... oh yeah, here it is. I got 44 with 45 being the baby. Locke says that it was 43, so I must have miscalculated at some point. Somebody else must have died, or I didn't count somebody's death. Who knows? Anyway, now we have a number, 43. I wonder if Locke's including the baby in that. But we have 43 survivors currently, which is interesting because then we're one away from the 42 number, which I don't know. I don't know if that means anything, but it's just interesting. Also, okay, so I want to talk about, and I talked about this in the last episode involving Michael's ex-wife, who I think they said her name is Susan. Could be wrong. If I am, just let me know. But I just do not understand why it would be necessary for Michael to give up parental rights in order for anything, right? Like, okay, she wants Brian to adopt Michael. Like, I'm not really sure why, though. You know what I mean? Like, I get that she thinks that she's making the best choice for herself and her son, and saying I can provide him this beautiful life if we move to Rome and I get to be CEO or whatever she said, right? Like, I get that she thinks that that's a good choice. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I just don't know why Michael would have to give up parental rights in order for you to do that. It's only because she wants Brian to adopt Walt. But, like, why? And we also know from season 1 that Brian didn't even care. It's not like Brian was really pushing, like, I have to adopt him, I want this. Like, he was fine just marrying her and not adopting Walt, at least according to him. So, like, I just don't understand. Like, her vehemence that Michael had to give up parental rights. Because, like, it just feels shitty, right? It just feels like she's being shitty. And then in this episode, it feels like they're trying to, like, backtrack that a little bit. But I still feel like she's just being shitty, you know? Because she could move. She could get married. This guy could be stepdad to Walt. Fine. But why does Michael need to give up his parental rights for that to happen? Like, why can't, he retain his parental rights? He calls him maybe once Michael gets more stable, like has a good job and a good house and all that stuff. Walt can come and visit him. Summers, like, at some point, like, he can come and visit Walt. Like, I just don't understand why the only possible solution in her mind was that Michael had to give up parental rights. It it just doesn't make sense. You know? And we know that, if I'm remembering correctly, again, you guys, correct me if I'm remembering incorrectly, I feel like we also saw in season 1 that Michael wrote letters every year on his birthday to Walt that she did not show him. So, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Just feels like she was just being shitty, you know? Like, even her lawyer being like, well, you don't know what his first word is, you don't know what, like, his favorite food is and stuff. And it's like, okay, one, if I'm sitting here willing to admit, me as Michael, that I have not been as involved in my son's life as I would like to be, and I would like to remedy that going forward, why are you dragging me through the coals? I've already admitted that I wasn't as involved in his life as I wanted to be. And also, like, this gets me riled up. Like, but like, bitch, why don't you put the fucking facts into context here? Because she took him. She would not let me talk on the phone to him. I got in an accident. I had to rehab. There was no way I could take care of a child at that point. Also, I still wanted to see him. But again, you guys, this is if memory serves. But she's telling me that it's best if I don't. You know? So, like, Michael was in an act, like, they're acting like there's no possible reason that he shouldn't know all these things. But there was extenuating circumstances, and that's why he doesn't know those things, you know? It's not that he was just didn't give a fuck, right? Like, do I think he could have fought harder? Do I still think, seeing all this, that he could have fought harder? Yeah. Yeah, I do. But it also seems to me like he was trying to do what he thought was best for his son based off of, you know, kind of manipulation by Susan. Again, I think that's her name. To make him think that this is what's best for his son, which I disagree with. Like, I think that having your dad give a shit about you, even if he can't afford to, like, you know, like, even if your mom is giving you this great life and all you get from your dad is like phone calls every week or whatever, I would rather my dad try. You know what I mean? I don't know. It, like, would it not color your perception of your mom if later you found all that stuff out, that she was doing all this stuff to actively keep your father from you, and he wanted to see you, he wanted to be involved in your life, and she made him feel like he wasn't good enough? Like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of shitty. Now, I say all of this as somebody who is very frustrated with Michael a lot of the time. Honestly, it's a recurring theme on this show, and I've mentioned it before, but it's just like, and I understand that in this case, Michael had extenuating circumstances again, right? Like, he's upset. His son just went missing. He's freaking out. He doesn't know what these people want with his son. He doesn't know what they're going to do to his son. He's, you know, he's feeling like, oh, I just got him back and now he's been taken from me. I'm sure that this is probably making him feel like Susan was valid because he's feeling like he's failing at taking care of his son. Yeah. So, like, I get that there's all that shit. And I do give him a lot of grace for that. But, like, as a Sawyer fan, like, I'm just so tired of people constantly just being like, it's your fucking fault. Fuck you. I hate you. And then poor Sawyer is just sitting here like, actually, I'm trying to do good things. Like, if I was Sawyer, I would not care. And, like, at some point you would have to stop caring because everyone's just always seeing the worst in you when you're not even doing anything bad at this time. Like, sure, Sawyer can be an asshole. Sure, he can be a dick. And he sometimes invites people to dislike him. But everyone always just is fucking a dick to him, so it's kind of understandable in some cases, right? Like when Michael's like, get off my raft, I would be like, bitch, your raft? I found this raft. I fucking brought it over to you. I literally saved your fucking life. And you're saying, get off my... Take several steps back, sir. No. You're getting off this fucking raft if anybody is, because I found it. It's mine. Right? And am I crazy? Maybe. I don't know. But it's just like... So that bothered me. And then also, it's like, he's saying it's Sawyer's fault because he did the flare, which would mean that Sawyer would have to know ahead of time that these people were bad and would do anything but rescue you. Which, again, like I did say, like, I don't know why y'all think that anybody would be that close to the island. But also, Sawyer fucking figured it out, because he's like, hey, like, he put all the fucking pieces together, you know? He's like, small boat, couldn't have gotten far from the island. Also, we weren't that far from the island, so, like, how could they have gotten to us? Also, Rousseau said they wanted the boy, so they were after Walt, you know? And he's right. And then, of course, that makes Michael upset. But, you know, again, I don't necessarily blame Michael for that, because Michael is thinking like, oh, so you're saying it's my fault or whatever, which I don't think is what Sawyer was saying. I think Sawyer was just saying it was inevitable. Like, if we were on land or if we were in the water, like, they were looking for Walt, so they were going to find Walt, you know? And that's why the flare even worked, and, like, because they were looking for them, you know? So, I don't know. But Michael does bother me with the way that he, like, is so quick to just shell out blame. But I don't think it's just Michael. Like I said, like, I think this is a problem that, like, a lot of the people on the island have, and it's either shelling out blame or, like, very quickly jumping to conclusions. And I'm not saying that we're not all guilty of that. Like, it's a very human thing. But it is frustrating to watch, I guess, in other humans when you know the truth. Just like when Charlie's like, there are no others. Rousseau made it up. She's crazy. And it's like, okay, but there are. And she didn't. And even if she is, it doesn't mean that she doesn't have valid points and, you know, isn't capable of still knowing what's going on, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, I think that I am just, like, a little bit of a Sawyer apologist, because even though he can be an asshole, and I fully accept that he can, and he has been, and yeah, I feel like he gets blamed for so much shit that is literally not his fault. Like, he legitimately saved Michael's life. And then Michael's fucking yelling at him and like, you're a shitty person and I don't like you. And I'm like, he saved your life, and he tried to save Walt's life, you know? Or like at least save him from getting kidnapped. But again, I'm trying to like not be too upset at Michael, because there was a lot of external shit happening and there's a lot of extenuating circumstances with his reaction. But my problem is that he has also shown that reaction with less extenuating circumstances, so it's frustrating. We also found out, I don't know if we found out or if it was told to us again, that Michael's last name is Dawson, which is interesting. Oh, I did also want to talk about, just briefly, Michael gave Walt a stuffed polar bear. I like how I go like this explains everything. It's just weird. It's just weird, right? Like, why? Like, the stuffed polar bear? Loki, are you puking? Great, I'm gonna have to go clean up cat puke after this. It's not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. Well, I do in real life. But in television, it's called foreshadowing, okay? No, I just feel like it's just, like, there's just no way that that's not related, that there was a stuffed polar bear, okay? Anyway, I have to go, as you have heard. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode, episode 3, right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length, very rambly reaction to this episode and all the episodes thus far of Lost. That is over on Patreon as well, watch-along style, so you do have to have your own little footage available. But yeah, I cannot wait to get into more of this show and to just watch. I don't know. I'm just excited to get into more. I can't wait to unveil the mystery and probably be like, oh, I did not guess that at all. Anyway, yeah, I hope to see you guys next time for episode 3. Until then, bye guys.